Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the September Live for Michelle in the Meadow. I am so excited that you're here. If you're in the chat already, go ahead and smash that like button. And of course, tell us where you're gardening from. Maybe your garden zone, something fun about you that we can share. I love when we have a chance to build some community on these lives, and I am so happy to see so many of you here. Tonight, we're prepped up. We're not going to have any technical problems, and we are ready to roll. Oh, my goodness. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Habitual Hobbies. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Beach Winch. I am glad to see y'all here. It has been a rather uneventful week here in Northeast Florida. That's probably an understatement. Oh, my gosh, what a week. I am like, mind blown. There has been so much going on and growing on. If you would help me out a whole lot, if you would let me know in the comments that you can hear me okay and that you can see me okay, that would be a big help to me. And if you aren't here live with us and you're catching this on a replay, be sure to put in hashtag replay in the comments because we'd love to know that you stopped by too. Hey, Jane. Hey, Jane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So glad to see y'all here. So glad, so glad. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, and hello. All right. All right. So, what's growing on, everybody? So, East Central Indiana, fantastic. I know we have a Missouri. I know we have a Nashville. Everything in the Meadow. So first question is, how did the Meadow go with the hurricane? Frankly, considering that it could have been so much worse, I feel terrible for the people that the hurricane did affect. We lost our one banana plant that had bananas on it. And that's the only one that has had bananas this year because I did a less than stellar job pruning the banana plants and the banana pups out. And so we lost a banana plant. The okra fell over, but I think it's going to survive limbs, just limbs. And really, we didn't have nearly the limbs down that our neighbors did. I just put out a video this afternoon talking about tips and ways that you can save money on raised garden beds. And one of the things that was just really funny to me is I could take a pickup truck right now and drive around my neighborhood and completely fill the pickup truck with debris if I wanted to, and have as much as I want to fill as many garden beds as I could probably want. I have lots of stuff already collected, but that was one of the tips is when we do have a storm, I go out and look for things that I could use in the garden, especially if there are some good decayed logs. But now that I have so many, I don't go and do that. But it's one of my favorite tips to give people who say they can't really afford to fill the bed fully. Then be on the lookout for curb alerts and cleaning up and chase the tree company. So that is fantastic. So thank you for asking. All is well. Mom is well. We actually got more wind than rain. I got that overflow built. I was ready, and then it did get some water in it. So I haven't really been able to give it a good test yet. So I'm waiting for a good rainstorm for that. And so thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Let's see, where is everybody else at? We've got Texas. We've got New Jersey. We've got Massachusetts. Hello, hello, hello. Stephen, thank you very much for the 5% coupon on the epic sale. Congratulations. Congratulations on your pickup there, Stephen. That is fantastic. Mrs. Michelle knows, but doesn't yet know that she knows, but she doesn't know. It's all your fault. I don't know if Plant Obsessed, Ann, if you're here yet, but it's all Ann's fault because she mentioned something about one of the particular beds and I was like, oh my God, what a great idea. And so I picked up some of the corner beds, but I'm going to make them rectangular. So they end up being like a 7x2, a little bit better than a 7x2 foot bed. So I'm glad I could help, Stephen. Thank you. And thank you for supporting the channel. I am an affiliate for Epic Gardening. And so when you make a purchase through my link or use my coupon codes, that helps provide revenue for this channel, for my family, and supports the work that we're doing here and the information we're sharing with you. So we're very grateful for that. So thank you very much. Kaylee says most of her friends in Florida had no damage. Yet Tampa did better than expected. Some flooding, but that area didn't get nearly what they got or what. Oh shoot! Now I'm drawing a blank. But when Ian came through, yeah, I thought that the leaves would shelter the banana plant too. And really, what happened is that one plant was on the very outside, so it was the least sheltered, and the wind was blowing forward, I think, and or at a diagonal, and it just clipped it off because it was a small trunk out of a trunk that didn't produce last year. And bottom line, I won't make that mistake again. If we have another hurricane, I will get my tow strap out or my ratchet strap out. This is what we did last year. And we ran a ratchet strap around the entire plantation. I have a banana plantation, and tied them together, and they could support one another. This little one was just out in the front. It wasn't back in the middle. And unfortunately, it just could not take all of that wind. But it fell later. It did not fall during the height of the storm. So there must have been some gusts later. In the little short I made, I'm not sure if I shared, but I mean, I was out and around the yard several times, and I didn't even notice that. We went for a walk on Thursday. I don't know, someday we went for a walk, whatever day I posted that video, and I looked over and was like, the banana's down. Oh no. So it's out of sight where it is from inside the house. It's on the side of the house. And so we don't see it quite as easily. Let's see here. Yes, I'm glad we're okay too. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Habitual Hobbies, about the tip. You are welcome. It's there are resources all around us. And before I had the YouTube channel, I used to probably talk about that a lot more when I was just doing Facebook Lives. But the reality is we have so many resources available to us, whether it's down trees, whether it's recycling cardboard. I saw another video, and I do this, recycling your toilet paper rolls and your paper towel rolls. And Plant Obsessed Anne over there is very big on not sending anything to the landfill that she can avoid. And I love that, because how many things can we keep? And so we hang on to as many of our protein powder jars as we can to use as canisters. We used for the storm, we prepared by setting up buckets of rainwater to use for flushing the toilet. And then I just had clean water, and actually still in the tub in a container. I have clean water that we could have used for sanitation if we had needed. So we really were looking for ways to not be wasteful, to protect the water supply and all these things. And so I think it's really great. All of us could do it imperfectly. It would be really good. A lot of times people think I can't do it enough, so I'm not going to do anything. That's not true. Every little bit is a little bit. And when we add it all together, it's a lot. So fantastic. Checking on these comments again. Let's see here. Hello, hello, hello. We got another Tampa here. Welcome, Tampa. Hey, Colin from Tampa. I don't recognize your name. Welcome. You might be new to the channel. Anastasia's from California. Fantastic. Welcome, Anastasia. All right, all right. And Beach Winch, if you have two in your cart, be sure to use the coupon code Meadow-LD, Meadow-LD, and you'll get an extra 5% off everything in the cart. One of the nice things about that is, under normal circumstances, my coupon code only gives a discount on limited products. But for this sale, anything you get in the cart gets the extra 5% off. So thank you so much for that support. Really, really appreciate it. Jane, you definitely will be able to watch me set those up. I will have a video. I'm actually thinking about trying something different with those setups, because I'm usually the one that does them all by myself because I like it and I do enjoy it. But I'm thinking about calling in reinforcements to help me get this done, if that gives you any clue as to what might be happening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Karen Fryer, welcome. Glad that you are here. You've made a fashionable interest. Good call, Kaylee. Good call. Fantastic. Oh, congratulations. Karen has a new calf. That is awesome. A happy and healthy girl. Yay. Hey, Doughboy Nintendo. Welcome to the channel. Hello. Julie Dunn from Tallahassee. Hello. I hope everything for you, Julie, over in Tallahassee went really well with Idalia coming through. I know the news people were saying it wrong. They kept saying Idalia. Y'all, this is the South. Have y'all never seen Vidalia? Vidalia without the V is Idalia. And so that's what I'm going to continue to call it. So, well, that was pretty funny. Yeah. So that the Tallahassee got some, I saw that. Actually, I need to call my cousins. They're west of Tallahassee, but I think they were okay just because of how the storm came in. It was a weird thing. But basically, if you were in the Southeast, you felt a little bit of it. I mean, you felt some of it. I would say we had winds here gusts in excess of 50 miles an hour. I watched some of my trees that are out in the meadow in pots completely tip over again this time, like last time, but from a different direction. That tells me why we were on a different side of the storm, so we were getting different winds than last time. And so the winds were coming straight towards my house, basically. So thank you, Secret Gardener Mom. Everybody say hey to Secret Gardener Mom. She has that lovely secret garden. I like to go visit sometimes. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about a few things here. Now that we got all those hellos done, I grabbed a pen and paper in case I needed to take notes, but my pen doesn't work. So whatever. I actually did what I said I was going to do. And I'm kind of excited about it. And I'm kind of nervous. And it's all your fault that I did it. I blame you. But the merch shop is up. And I've run a test order through it. I've seen one of the pieces of merchandise. And so it's all going through reputable suppliers. And they will drop ship, or I guess print and send. I guess it's not really drop ship when it's print on demand, print and send things directly to you. And so I am excited to announce that the first products for the What's Growing On are now available. And I blame you. And so I'm going to put in the comments here the URL. And let me know if this works. If you have any problems, let me know in the chat, because the subdomain should work properly. But it is shop.michelleinthemeadow.com. Shop.michelleinthemeadow.com. And I'm going to go ahead and pin this and replace the register for a free bed. It'll be up at the top there. But we have the urban long shirt. We have, which is the one that comes down really long. So if you like to wear a long t-shirt, or you like to wear it with leggings, this is going to be one that's going to hang down a lot longer. I like having a longer t-shirt to cover my assets. And so I'm pretty excited about those. We also have a regular length t-shirt, a V-neck t-shirt, a tank top, a tote bag, and a hoodie. And those are the products we have set up right now. And I'll be working on some of the other designs over the next few weeks. So really excited about that. This is just, it's so cool. It's cool, but it's scary. It is a Shopify store. And I went with Shopify. You know, there's so much to learn when you're doing this stuff. I do a lot of this stuff. I know a lot of this stuff, and I do a lot of this stuff in other contexts, but it's very different with YouTube and how this print on demand works and stuff, because this is all kind of new to me on that side. And so I went with Shopify because I could then tie the store into the YouTube channel. And I went and looked at some of your favorite creators out there. YouTube tells me who you all follow, which is weird, not individually, but collectively, the other channels that are similar to my channel, and just tried to model what some of those other creators were doing. And so fingers crossed it all works. If there's anything about the shop or any suggestions you all have, you can fill out the contact form right on the site. Or of course, you can always drop an email to michelleinthemeadow@gmail.com. So I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm grateful that you were interested in the initial design. The only change that I made to the design that you guys saw is I added my little coin. I'm calling it my coin. So the logo that you see on the YouTube channel, I'm calling that my coin. So with my little hat that I've been painted, I'm going to do my best to try to add that into every design. Not super hidden, but just sort of in there because I think it's kind of fun, and it'll make it a little more personalized for the channel. But I don't know if you guys think that's crazy. Let me know. But I'm excited to cover my assets. Yeah, I had a chance to go to Thailand a number of years ago, and it made the grandmas in Thailand delighted. They would take me by my arm and examine my posterior and then go, whoo, and pop me on the butt. They didn't know me at all. This was just apparently a cultural thing. And I got used to getting popped by grandmas when I was over there. And so I came back and made some jokes and said they were reviewing my assets. And so, so that has sort of stuck ever since. All right. The internet went down, but then when the internet came back up, the live stream would not reconnect. Hey, you guys made it back. Yay! Rock on. Thank you so much. So the internet went down, but when it came back up, the live stream wouldn't reconnect, even though it showed it was reconnecting. So that was bad. And what you didn't hear me say is one of my goals for today was to get the new router installed because I've just been having some intermittent problems. Interestingly, though, this is the first time I've had a problem when I was going live. And so I have a new router, and the goal is to get it to where I can actually get internet signal all the way out to the garden studio so that I can go live from the garden studio. And at least part of the time, I would really like to be able to do that. So let's see. I'm glad you guys were still chatting in the comments. Elizabeth, feel free to send some of that spaghetti sauce our way. We like that. Thank you for letting me know you can see me and you can hear me again. So that was fun. So back to your question, habitual a minute, but we're back to your question. Your question was, do I know how big the how big the armholes are or what the shape of that is? So I do not know what the size of the armholes are for the tank top. I did list all the dimensions that they gave me. But if you all order a product from me and you're not happy, I will let you send it back. It's that simple. I don't know if other creators do that. I don't know. I mean, that may be a policy that ends up biting me in my assets. But so just let me know if it didn't work out and we'll work it out. The other thing that I wanted to do for you all, because you are always show up for my lives and you're super supportive, is you get a coupon code. And that coupon code, I'm going to run it for this first week just to let everybody who's been on the live get a hold of it. And I'll send it out to the email list as well if you're not on there already. You might want to do that. But that is going to be the number 5 for live. It is 5 for live. And that will be a coupon code to take $5 off. And then you will save $5 on your order of $20 or more. No one is perfect, and I must be no one, right? No, seriously. I appreciate you guys understanding. And Karen, yes, I've stopped fussing with it, but it's hard because I can see myself full on, and it was just like, it felt wonky. It felt wonky, and that there could be a little bit of OCD going on, just a little bit. So 5 for live is the coupon code. Let me put this in the chat for you. And the website is, there we go. shop.michelleinthemeadow.com. Save $5 with 5 for live. All right. There we go. Now I've got it. Thank you guys. There we go. All right. Well, I just want to have some fun. Look, I love hanging out with you guys. I wish that my schedule allowed us to have more interaction than we do. A couple months ago, we talked about setting up a Discord server. I may still do that because I really would love a way where we can have more interaction than just when I post a video, you have the ability to respond, right? And so So I would look forward to that, and I would like to figure that out at some point. So there is that. Just a tad of a, Karen. Yes, there is some OCD. I also recently found out there's some ADHD. So that's been playing out pretty interestingly for me. And so, but it explains so much. It explains so much of how I am about things. And it just never even occurred to me. Never even occurred to me I could have ADD or ADHD. Never even occurred to me. So, but I am an entrepreneur by spirit. I've had some kind of business most of my life, and so I think sometimes you have to have sort of the skill set that comes with having the ADHD to do that. So Karen mentioned that her cows ate her cabbage flower. I think that sounds sad. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Are they supposed to eat your cabbage flower? I would like to know that answer. So what have we covered so far this week? We've talked about the storm. We've talked about the launch of the store. And if you don't know already, I know we talked about it in the initial live stream. Oh, she lost the seed. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yes, then that's not good. But is it possible to plant some of their offerings and get the seed back? I don't know. Does that happen? I don't know. So yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Sorry about that. But if you haven't seen it already, many of you are on the email list. There are Labor Day sales everywhere in gardening. So Epic Gardening has a Labor Day sale on right now. There are a number of the beds that are up to 50% off. The bed that I happen to have in my garden, the 8-in-1, is I think $60 or $70 off to save, and that's for the tall one. Lynn says, why is it the creators I like best all have ADHD? I don't know, Lynn, maybe we're in training with each other. Maybe we are kindred spirits, perhaps. The real sign is that I'm always busy because I always have more projects to do than could possibly be done by one human being. And then I'm mad because I can't get them all done. That's my toxic trait, so to speak. So, but it is, there are just, the garden bed prices are really great, especially if you've been looking for some of the unique designs, the corner beds, and there is an octagonal bed, or maybe it's a hexagon bed that's on sale. Over at Botanical Interest, they have free shipping on seeds. So if you've bought seeds lately and you only wanted to buy one pack of seeds, I don't believe there's a minimum order either, and you only wanted to buy one pack of seeds, then man, it's expensive to ship one pack of seeds. So they're doing free shipping right now. And I think I have a code for Botanical Interest too. Well, I don't have a code for Botanical Interest, but I do have a link. I think it's michelleandthemeadow.com/BOTI. I think that's the right one. But free shipping for garden seeds, which is great. And then over at Vigo Garden, they are having up to 40% off, and there are some additional coupon codes there as well. If you like the 9-in-1 bed, then you can use my handle Michelle in the Meadow 5%, I think, to take another 5% off. All of the links for all of my different things are over on the website in case I'm remembering them badly. Oh, Botanical Interest is BOTA, michelleandthemeadow.com/BOTA. But you can always head over to michelleandthemeadow/support if you're ever trying to figure out who text me. Well, my friends who text me, and I have people who've sent emails asking if I have a link that they could use. So feel free to grab that out. Elizabeth, I think that is the perfect statement. Elizabeth said, superpower and her kryptonite. Superpower and kryptonite. Now, it's concerning to me that on my computer that I am watching the stream with, it is just swirling, but you guys can see me, right? So Excellent. Excellent. I still like the Vigo beds? I do. I like this, but I'm going to share this with you now. My current challenge with the Vigo beds is sometimes they have these really unique and interesting not in stock. They seem to always be on pre-order. And unlike you guys, I am going to what I'm getting. So I don't want to spend $200 or $300 on an order to wait for it for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks. And technically, I don't think they can charge you if it's on a pre-order within a certain amount of time. And this is not a dig on them. They're just so very popular. I think they have a hard time keeping everything in stock. And so that's my only downside there. That's my only downside there. But I am still happy with the Go bed. Another one for the patio. Some patio bed comparisons here really soon. So yes, so I still like them. I probably talk about birdies more frequently because there are opportunities for me to share things with you, and it's encouraged through their affiliate program. And they create these campaigns and opportunities for us to help generate revenue for our channel. And so I tend to take advantage of that as well. So if that helps. Yeah, I'm on my phone stream, so it'll just depend on what that is. So, but I'm still very happy with that. You are very welcome, Lynn, and thank you for asking. Now, I got to tell you what this crazy woman is going to do. This crazy woman. And Lynn, it's a perfect segue. So thank you very much for that question. I have decided to divide the garden beds in the garden. So, it's swirling again. So I have decided to divide the garden bed in the garden. And so I am going to put on the northeast end of the garden, I am going to have the Vigo beds. And on the south side garden, I am going to do the birdies beds. And so I'll still be able to do comparisons, but if I'm talking about birdies, I can be over here on this side. If I'm talking about Vigo, I can be over here on this side. And it made sense to me when we moved the garden beds out of the way for the storm. Mrs. Michelle was like, I kind of like those over there. So it is. And so that is going to happen too. So, okay, so now I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on the internet. It's got to be a YouTube problem then. This has got to be a YouTube problem then. Must be a YouTube problem. Okay, good. Thank you, Habitual Hobbies. Thank you, Habitual Hobbies. I appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So maybe YouTube and Xfinity are all in cohort tonight, trying to keep us from hanging out and having fun. So that is the plan, which means I have to disassemble the birdie's bed that's put together. When I made my short and I asked you, what do you want to know now that I've had these put together for more than a year? You guys asked some very specific questions. So I'm going to take this opportunity as I am disassembling one of the beds so that I can move it. And we're going to get to take a great look inside the bed and see what y'all think. There are some differences with the types of screws, because I can tell you on the Vigo bed, none of the screws are rusting inside or out. On the Birdie's beds, on the new beds, a few of them are rusting, but not all of them. And so I think they're in the process of moving over to stainless steel screws, but just as a little side note for those who had asked that. So, and I am seeing it, I saw it buffering here too, but it does seem to be back for me, Karen. So hopefully, there you go. Fantastic. I'm glad that worked. And look, a lot of the companies are struggling still. One, we're 3 years into COVID or more. And so, but we still have supply chain problems. We still have distribution problems. We have a whole new set of problems that we weren't aware of. So Lynn, let me see your question. I just saw what was the solution for the bed starting to cave? Lynn, it was an easy solution. What I discovered is we had put inside the bed, we had put logs too close to the support beams. And in doing so, as the logs settled, they got lower. And then the soil that we had used was a raised bed mix, but it had really caked up around the support, I say support beams, but those support rods that run through the bed. And it had caked up. And so as the logs underneath shifted and went down, these bricks were holding on to the support bar. And as it held on to the support bar, it looked like this, it would weigh it down. And as it weighed it down, it would cause the sides of the bed to pull in. And so what I have done is when I reset the birdie's bed is I moved all of the logs away from the rods, away from the support rods. And when I'm putting soil back in there, I am adding in a lot of perlite. I am adding in a lot of perlite with the hopes that I won't get these bricks in there, because they were literal bricks when I was digging out the sweet potatoes a few months ago. And it doesn't surprise me at all. It'd be like hanging bricks off those support rods. So hopefully that explains it. But that's really the answer, is to put much more fluffy soil than you might expect, especially in these really deep beds. You know, if you had the short bed, it doesn't matter. But in these big beds with those support bars, that's what was going on. So, question from Karen about the southern hemisphere midday sun is in the north. The midday sun this time of year, for me, my house is oriented really interestingly. The front is not quite due west. And so I see the sun path in the spring mostly hits the south side of the house. But this time of year, it is going almost diagonally, and I get shade over here in the afternoons and full sun over on the north side. I don't know if that helps or not, but that's what I've observed in there. So Lynn, you are very welcome for that. I am very happy with the beds. I think that it's really just the best thing since sliced bread. Honestly, these big corrugated beds are going to last a long time. If you didn't watch my video from today, even if you don't watch the whole video for the tips, you got to at least watch the opening and give it a thumbs up. But in case you guys don't know this, watching a video, the longer you watch a video, the better it is for the creator, because it tells YouTube we created content you want to see. And so, but at the very beginning, I am literally dragging a birdie's bed across the lawn on its side. No dings, no dents, no whatevers. I used to treat them so gently. I was like, oh, this is my very expensive bed. I need to be very nice to it and be very gentle with it. And now I'm just like flipping them over, dumping them around. So, because they're just tough, you know, and so they're this tough material. I don't want to scratch them up, but at the same time, I'm putting it through its paces. So I'll continue to know and learn more about them. So fantastic. I am going to get another sip of drink here. Oh, I got a big swig. That's kind of funny. Sorry, I didn't know what that looked like on camera, but it's kind of low. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Because I think we've covered everything I'd hoped to kind of talk about tonight. We talked about the new shop. We talked about the storm. We talked about the Labor Day sales. I have a new irrigation video that I have to reshoot. You guys can, the nice thing about going live is you get to hear about some of these weird things that happen that you wouldn't normally get on the channel. But I ordered in some new irrigation kits, and I got it installed. I got the whole video shot, and as I laid it on top of the garden bed, it was the wrong size. It wasn't that they sent me the wrong size. I ordered the wrong size. Now, fortunately, I have a garden bed that it will fit. And so instead of trying to spend, 3 or 4 hours readjusting it, I decided to order a second one because I really liked it once I demonstrated it and checked it out. So I can't wait to share that with y'all. That'll be out this next week. That's coming out this week. And I'm working on another sweet potato video because we don't have enough sweet potato videos. I actually have some ideas to do some experiments. And so that video won't be out until probably closer to Christmas, because it's going to take a while to actually grow the sweet potatoes and do the experiment. So, I am really glad that I did have a garden bed that it would fit. If it hadn't have, I would have taken the parts apart and done some things with it. It's a really unique system. And so I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys how it works, because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it's not sustainable. Me continuing to hand water, 9 or 10 garden beds, it's not sustainable for me and to be effective. And so I have to come up with some systems, and I want to grow a lot more food. And I plan to have a lot of food growing here this winter. Excuse me as I pour myself a little more sparkly. I think I showed y'all this last time. I love these little things from Target. This is not a sponsored video by Target, but Target, if you would like to sponsor a video, feel free. These little sugar-free sparkling waters with a little flavor in them. I really enjoy those. So Elizabeth, I'm excited to share it. Super simple. Is the fall garden a thing in Florida? Yes, it is a thing in Florida, but really for us, we should be planting some fall seeds now. I am focused on flower planting right now for fall, but we also have a winter garden. So last year I grew food in the garden 100% throughout the entire year. So I never stopped growing food. This year I have it's slowed down because I haven't planted as much as I would normally do. My regular job, my regular day job keeps me pretty busy, and so this is keeping me pretty busy. So I missed getting a lot of the things done that I wanted to do. But that said, I grew sweet potatoes. I left them in the bed and basically used it as a storage place last season, and harvested sweet potatoes many months after they should have been harvested. I've got sweet potatoes outside now that I didn't plant. The interesting thing, sweet potatoes, is once you plant them, at least here in Florida, you always have sweet potatoes if you want them. They're just going to keep on growing. So, how cold does it get in the winter here? The winter here, we can get down below 20 degrees, but that's an unusual day. We don't get frozen ground at all. We don't have any permafrost or any frozen ground like that. But I think we got down to 23. Last Christmas was last winter was one of our coldest days. Karen asked if I could put stones under the support rods to help. Maybe, but I guess you could. The problem is there's 2 sets of support rods on the taller beds, and so I don't know how you could do that up top. Now, Mark from Self-Sufficient Me had a really neat idea, and it's not a terrible idea either. He took and made a 2x4. I'm assuming he made it of cedar or something. So let's just pretend this is a 2x4, and he drilled holes through it, and then he put that in the middle of the bed, and so the support beams go through the bed, and so that's an option too. I want to try it with just adding in more perlite, because I think it really came down to having less compacted soil, which is going to be better for the roots. It's going to be better for the plants. It's going to be better for the drainage. It's going to be better for the irrigation. All of those things are going to be better when you have a great quality soil for your plants to grow in. So fantastic. So do we have any other than Karen, do we have anybody else who's outside of the United States? I would love to know where else. I know we have Australia. We have some folks that are on the channel from the UK, but I would love to know if there's anywhere else. On the call now, I know we have Missouri, and we had Nashville, Tennessee, and we had Massachusetts, and so any of a number of those places. So fantastic. Thank you. All this talking, I get thirsty, so thank you. Be sure to smash that like button for the 3rd time, because y'all have already liked the other one. So feel free to smash that like button. I'm just excited, and I'm grateful for you guys, and I'm grateful for y'all hanging out with me tonight. Do you have any other questions before we wrap up? So let's see. Habitual Hobby says perlite in my bed bothers me as it eventually floats up and sits on the top. Now I have not had that problem with perlite floating up, and so I've just not experienced that. Does that mean like when you water, it just sort of slowly makes its way back to the top? I haven't seen that happen here, and so I think vermiculite might be okay, but vermiculite, vermiculite is just sort of sometimes is a finer version of that. Karen says she only uses perlite in her pots. I absolutely understand. The problem that I had in the garden bed is it settled, and so I had 18 inches of a really dense soil, and I had to take, and I think there's a video. I'll have to find the link to it. There's a video I did when I dug out the birdie's bed. I had to take the equivalent of a pickaxe to break up the soil. That's how hard the soil was inside there. It was just a brick. The top layer was nice and wet. The middle layer, where it was really hard and dry, the water wasn't seeping in. It wasn't hydrophobic, but it just was like a brick. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I am still a new gardener in the scheme of gardening. I've been gardening here on this property since 2019, so just over 4 years, and I'm still learning so much. I first had to learn what happened on this property, right? So I moved here in 2019 and started gardening in 2019 ahead of kind of understanding everything that went on. And that's another video I keep talking about doing, but I need to go and do it. Because I want to share with you why I garden the way I do where I live. And I want to sort of walk around and show you all the features of it, because I think it would be helpful for you as you're thinking about your garden. I know Habitual Hobbies, you shared on your channel. And by the way, if you have your own channel, please, I would like to ask this. If you have your own channel and you're on this live with us tonight, be sure to tag your own channel in here, so the people who are watching, they can go and watch your channel too. Habitual Hobbies, I know that you shared some of your first year gardener mistakes in a recent video. It was a really great video to see, and they were good reminders for me because I've made every one of those mistakes and continue to make them. But we just keep learning and we keep trying things, and so that's really interesting. I don't know if gypsum would work. I've never worked with gypsum. I will say that whenever I am using it, I try to remember to wear a mask, because it's painful if you breathe it in while you're trying to work with it. So no matter what those things are, I do recommend trying to wear a mask. Technically, we should be wearing a mask at any time we have are working with the soil, frankly, because there's stuff, but I'm not an expert on these things. I just keep trying to learn. Well, look at there. We got Geeky Gardens in the house. Hey, Jack. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here with us. Lynn, I want to learn some more about the gypsum. I don't know. We'll put Geeky Gardens on the spot. So, Jack from Geeky Gardens, can you use gypsum instead of perlite in the soil to kind of keep it from getting too clumped together? Hey, that is fantastic. That is fantastic, Jack. And when we're doing when we do our garden tours, a big part for me is I'm walking around and explaining what I've done in the garden, but I'm also assessing things. It becomes a video journal. I can then go back and I'm taking these pictures, and the beautiful thing, I'm on my Android device a year later. It's reminding me of things like at this time last year, I had dragon fruit on, I had bananas on, I had all these things growing on there. So, Habitual Hobbies just asked in the chat. You guys probably saw that. Ask Jack if he's at least sitting in the garden section at Walmart with his Wi-Fi. That's funny. Jane, we are live. Welcome back. We are live. Yes, we are. So this is our third iteration of the September live, because we kept having internet problems. So welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So Jack uses vermiculite in the soil. So Jack, one of the questions that came up before you walked in is with the birdies and the Vigo really tall garden beds, I ended up with super compacted soil. And so I am going to be adding a lot more perlite into my soil so that I don't get that compaction this year when I do it. So yeah, no, Jane, it wasn't your fault. The internet went down and then the live stream wouldn't reconnect. Internet came back up, new live stream died again. Don't know why, but I am actually streaming live from my phone using cellular data. How exciting. But it's working, and it's working. It makes no sense that cellular data should work better than a hard wired or Wi-Fi internet connection. None. Zero. 0 cents. So smart job, Jack. Smart job. So perfect. Well, one of the questions that came up was, how cold does it get here and what can we garden? So for me, habitual hobbies, I think this is I find this really funny. Our first frost date is around December 15th in my zone and for my zip code. And my last frost date is February 15th. Those are 8 weeks apart. And so if you're doing seed starting, you're supposed to, a lot of those plants you start inside 6 weeks before your last frost date. So literally Christmas, we're starting seeds to go out in February and March. So we basically only have 2 weeks where we're not really thinking about that. So, oh yes, thank you, Karen. Enjoy Life Australia. I'm sorry about that. So let me see if I can tag these. We've got Enjoy Life Australia. We have Habitual Hobbies. Let me tag that one. Let's see if it lets me Enjoy Life Australia. You are welcome. And then we have Geeky Gardens here. Now, I wonder if because you're not logged in as Enjoy Life Australia, it wouldn't let me tag the channel the same way, but I tried. Excellent. You are welcome. If there's anybody else who has a channel, make sure y'all put it in here. This is a community. I like us learning together. We learn from one another and we work together. So, yeah. So yeah, it is Habitual Hobbies. It is a pretty intense seeding time frame. And so I did not plant, I haven't started my winter seedlings yet, which is time for really to start thinking about my brassicas. One thing that our extension offices have, and I bet you that most counties and states have them. I shouldn't say the extension office, it's a state level. But the garden offices put out this monthly calendar. And here it has our state divided into 3 zones, north, central, and south. And then it tells you start from a seed, start from starts, or okay to transplant, or start from plants. And so you get this little graph with 9 sections in it, or a chart with 9 sections in it. And if you're in North Florida, you can look at this little square here and go, okay, to start seeds for this. And I like using that. I do push the limits a little, but I know there are a lot of growers who try to grow a lot of things that aren't supposed to grow in their zone. And so for me, I don't want to have to work harder to fight to keep those plants alive. And I wouldn't call myself a lazy gardener, but I don't like having to do impractical work. And so to plant a whole bunch of things that will require me to take massive action when we have a freeze is tough. I already have an avocado. I have a couple of other things that are kind of frost sensitive. And so I really have no interest in having to do it. I've done it for years to help Mom. I love helping Mom. I'm happy to help her. But she's got a different setup, and she's got a great big garage, and she's got a little greenhouse out there now, and we can roll things around when she lets me help her. When she lets me help, so she's got some ways to sort of protect some of the plants that she has because her yard is just different. But for me, I don't want to do that. I already have enough covering to do when it's going to be freezing, just for a few of the things. So I don't want to do more of that. Gardening should be fun. Gardening should be fun. So you guys have, Karen says they have frost between May and November. We were having that conversation one time. I was really surprised to find out you have that long of a cold spell in Australia, but it's where you are in Australia, I think you said. So. Excellent. Excellent. I mean, we basically have 300, they call it a 300-day growing season, but depending on what you're growing, the brassicas that don't mind the cold, the brassicas, the kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, these things that don't mind the cold as long as it doesn't freeze them, we grow them all through the winter here. So, and in my opinion, I would much rather have greens, for instance, like collards and things like that. I would much rather have any of those greens after they've been cold. I think they taste better than to get them in the middle of the summer. I just think they taste better. So there's that. There's that. All right, my friends, we made another hour and a half, of course, with 15 minutes of playing with the different settings, trying to get it done. I don't think Kaylee made it back over on this one. Bless her. She is always very diligent at these things, but I forgot to put this back in the community tab that we moved over. Shame on me. Let me throw that in there real quick just before we go. Trying one more time. But any other questions, any other things you guys want to talk about tonight? Anything in the garden that I haven't covered? Jack, I want you to have a safe trip back. Enjoy your road back. We've enjoyed watching your adventures in Idaho. Karen, thank you for sharing the cows. I like saying good morning and happy birthday to the cows. That's been lovely. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. You guys are great. You guys have been great. Let me see if there's anything else I want to share with you guys. We've talked about the upcoming videos that we're going to do. I shouldn't lean back like that. That's weird. I get too cozy. I realized I was getting too cozy. So I think that's it, y'all. Oh my gosh. Be sure to smash that like button. I appreciate you guys being with the channel and subscribing. The merch is exciting. I can't wait to try that out and see how this goes. Let me know if y'all have any problems, if you have anything that goes wrong with it. If you're not happy, I'm happy to take that back. Someone suggested I do stickers. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard mixed reviews on the stickers on the print on demand, and I've heard that ordering them from Sticker Mule and mailing them out is gonna maybe a better decision. So I'll make a decision on that. I want to see the quality first because I don't want to. The company that I do most of the merch from is they're all there. Oh, thank you, Kay. Oh, she is back. See, Kaylee, I noticed I didn't see you. I thought if I put it in the community tab, you could find us. So I'm sorry you missed us there. We have just been gabbing on. And thank you for ordering a shirt. I appreciate that. But yeah, I want to work. I want to work smarter. I want to do things the smart way and the good way. I want to make sure that I can grow my own food. I don't know. I mean, I know y'all are all gardeners here, so you get this. But it's really cool, when Mrs. Michelle is cooking something, she goes, "Do we have?" Yeah, we got. And I get to walk outside and pick something. Or I came in the house, I was like, "Where have you been?" She goes, "Oh, I was outside getting some kaffir lime leaves." So, that's the other garden bed that's coming up. I did finish cleaning out and topping off the soil. I've got this garden bed doing multiple videos. That's the other thing. Like, I just got to set up the camera when I'm doing stuff. But in this same garden bed, we're going to get the Asian garden started. And you guys asked for that video. And so I have asked her what things she cooks with the most that we should put in there. And so in that garden, we're going to be putting in basil. We won't put mint in the garden because mint will take a life of its own. But we're going to put Thai basil. We may throw in some lemongrass. We're going to have galangal, which is Thai ginger. We're going to have regular ginger. We're going to have a number of other things that are, a number of other things that are Thai related. I don't have the right book over here with me, or I could tell you what all it is. And so now I'm going through and checking my seeds, and I need to finish that while the botanical interest sale is still going on in case they have some Asian vegetables over there. I know that we do want to plant out some bok choy and maybe some Napa cabbage, but it is only a 3x8 bed. So I have to decide how much I want to grow in there. But I would like to grow intensively, especially with the herbs that we can sort of winter over. So, you know, come for dinner in the meadow. Yeah, come on for dinner in the meadow. That would be so cool. I know that, except that I'm super like freaked out about that idea, but I know that some of the other channels have like events and things like that. That freaks me out a little bit, I'm going to be honest. But the green stalk could be good for mint. I think Jack from Geeky Garden shared that if I put it in there, just plan to have an entire green stalk of mint. So that would be good. I did forget something else I want to ask you guys, and we can talk about this again next month. But if you had a chance, or if I had a chance to interview some famous gardener, we'll just call it like that, someone who is famous in the YouTube community, what questions would you want me to ask? And would it depend on who it is, depending on that question? So I'm curious, what would you want to know from famous YouTube channels that maybe you don't know? Because I might be taking a trip somewhere. So there is that. So that was the one question I was going to start with tonight, and then we got distracted by the live stream tanking out. So let me know in the chat what you would want to know from other gardeners. Like, I want to know things like maybe how they got started, or what created the passion for them, maybe why they chose to start a YouTube channel. But you may want to know other things. And if that seems like a really weird question for you, then you don't have to answer. But I was just curious, because I am going to have a chance to go and interview someone in the gardening community here on YouTube. And I'm very excited about that. And we haven't gotten all the details worked out yet. And so I'm not releasing who it is, but I am going to get to go. And I am not going to Australia. How's that? So I am very interested to see. So what change, if it was Epic Gardening, what changes would you make? Okay, that's good to know if it was Epic Gardening. And so I'm kind of excited about this opportunity. So I would love to know any other questions you want to know. I think it's really interesting. Like, I've been watching a lot of podcasts lately, and I really dig some of the style of the podcast, because sometimes when you're just having a conversation with people, you end up learning a lot of things that are really interesting, learning about their business, learning about their things that are important to them. And so I like knowing these things. Let's see. Mint does, let's see, move up 2 tiers. Oh, wow, Jack, I didn't realize that. Jack had a mint move up 2 tiers in his green stalk. So, right. Botanical Interest is the seed company. Do I like hot peppers? Yes, we do eat hot peppers here. We don't eat crazy hot peppers, but we have family members who do eat crazy hot peppers. And so I have been growing Kung Pao peppers this year. I picked up a start at the nursery, and I was really happy with that because it's got some heat. We are going to put Thai pepper into the garden so that we can use that for cooking for sure. So, all right, Habitual Hobbies, you have a good night. I've got to go too. It's already 8:30 and dark, and I got to go lock up and clean up. And tomorrow's a holiday for me anyway. Hopefully you guys get to have a holiday where you are for Labor Day. Enjoy it. Remember to be smart and be safe and drink plenty of water, of course. So, okay, this will be my final question. Would this be a weird shirt to, like, the little thing that I say, like, you know, wear high quality sunscreen, drink plenty of water, and have a fantastic day. Would that be weird to have on a shirt? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Everybody, you guys have a great night. I appreciate your patience with the live stream. I appreciate you hanging out until we could get it figured out again. Thank you for your purchases and for supporting the channel. I am very grateful for all of you, and I hope that you have a safe and wonderful Labor Day, that you get to rest a little maybe. It is a lot of words, Kaylee. It certainly is. Thank you for that input. I appreciate it. Until next time, my friends, remember, drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day. Take care, everybody. Now, to figure out how to end the live stream from my phone. Thank you. Good night, good night, good night.